This movie tells a story about a woman named Celie who faces many hardships in her life, but ultimately finds extraordinary strength and hope in the unbreakable bonds of sisterhood. This movie is adapted from the hit Broadway musical based on Alice Walker's beloved 1982 novel. The concepts and ideas at the core of this story remain interesting, but the way those concepts are executed in this musical are messy at best. This movie is often bogged down by its inability to find enough middle ground between musical and movie. For a stage musical adaptation to work, the filmmakers have to seamlessly find a way to transfer the stage-bound musical numbers into film. Unfortunately, the familiar theatrical tropes in this movie make themselves all too conspicuous. While the all-important music numbers are staged in big fashion, the songs themselves are conventional, rarely raising to the production's level. The musical sections feel almost out of place with the story being told surrounding them. It's not that the non-musical sections are poorly directed, but the many parts of the film with no songs feel as if they've come from an entirely different place. The film lacks the passion and the perspective to make the words and tunes truly resonate. There's never a sense that Celie has any true challenges to transcend, even with all the horrors visited upon her by the abusive hand of others. Her eventual triumph over adversity should be fantastic, but this movie doesn't treat her story with enough grace to make that journey as stirring as it should. The movie barely depicts or even implies the intense physical and psychological harm done to her. It's more like the movie vaguely gestures toward it without allowing the impact of any one tragic event to land. It cannot help but feel mechanical in its presentation. It's hard to balance the singing and dancing with a clear-eyed depiction of the hardships experienced by Black women, not just by a racist and sexist society, but by Black men who wish to treat them as property as opposed to people. Most of the cast struggle to bring a grounding quality to the melodrama, inclining instead toward showiness that may work on the stage, but which comes off cringe and exaggerated here. Many famous casts appear in cameos that do nothing but stop the narrative flow of the film and distract from the story. The production design is decent, but the songs that weave this narrative together are mediocre. The songs are awkwardly placed as though they were meant to function as transitions added atop the actual story instead of being used to tell the story itself. The unimaginative dancing and humdrum music lack the proper punch that would make a theatrical audience want to stand up from their seats and applaud. Most of the dialogue lacks the fluidity of real human interaction. Each conversation feels like a stilted play to the cheap seats. The wooden script makes the film's most incomprehensible moments all the more apparent. Overall, this movie is such a disappointment. We do not recommend this movie at all.